Have you ever felt unlovable? Like, love just creates heartache, betrayal, pain? Or maybe you were just taught in childhood that you weren't unworthy of love by parents or guardians whose words and actions left deep emotional scars. If that sounds like you, then this video is your reminder. You can change your story. Today, I'm going to share how neuroscience proves you can rewire your brain to believe in your worth again. Whether you're healing childhood wounds, heartbreak, trauma, or all of the above. And I'm going to show you practical steps to healing these parts of you so you can start manifesting the life of your dreams. So stay with me, hit subscribe, and don't miss out on these powerful tools. On this channel, I help people with manifestation, I help people with trauma recovery, and I help them with just their self-concept, because once you fix your self-concept, you can attract anything you want. So now let's get into it. The first thing we're going to talk about is why you feel unlovable. Now, whether that's a painful breakup, growing up feeling unseen, unheard, unloved, our brains can create deep and strong pathways linking love with unworthiness and rejection. Maybe your parents, guardians, friends, even a past romantic relationship made you feel not enough, whether through criticism, neglect, lack of affection, abuse. These experiences create emotional triggers that just replay into your mind, reinforcing that belief that you're unlovable. And because our brains are basically supercomputers, once we truly believe something, we will find evidence instead of finding evidence to the opposite. This is where conscious awareness comes in, which we'll talk about in a little bit more deep in just a little bit. But here's the beautiful thing. The truth is, your brain is not stuck in this old story, in this old version of you. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your brain can literally rewire itself, create new neural pathways towards unconditional self-love and worthiness, no matter how deep your wounds run. Now, a little bit of science. Your brain creates neural pathways based on repeated thoughts and feelings, whether reinforced by somebody else or ourselves. So, if your brain has been traveling down the path of I am unworthy, I am unlovable, well, by that point, it's a well-worn path that's very easy to follow. But your brain is flexible. It can create new trails. You just have to focus on healing and being very conscious of what your positive beliefs are. And I'm going to help you with that as we proceed further into this video. Now, this rewiring is the foundation of healing from trauma, childhood wounds, and even heartbreak. But more importantly, it is essential to transforming your self-concept so that you can become the best version of you and create the life you've always dreamed of having. So that gets into positivity is actually more than just feeling good. Positive focus isn't about ignoring your pain. In fact, it's kind of the opposite. We have to work through those, but we also have to identify where that pain comes from to be able to find the solution to repairing our brain patterns. So you have to be aware of those brain patterns in the process. Don't ignore your pain. Most important, it's about reclaiming your power, healing your brain chemistry, creating new pathways. So positive thoughts, thinking, whatever you want to call it, it actually stimulates dopamine and serotonin in your system, which will not only calm your fears, but it helps you to open your heart to more possibilities. This essentially makes your brain capable of trusting and loving again. Now, here's the thing. We'll use relationships with friends, it doesn't matter. If we believe we ourselves are unworthy, if we believe ourselves to be unlovable, then what we're going to do is we're going to energetically attract people that prove us right. That's the simple law of attraction. We will literally attract everything into our life that does that. And if we get rare enough that we find somebody that really sees our worth, that loves us and stuff, we don't accept it because we do not believe that about ourselves. So oftentimes, until you love yourself, truly love yourself, you will sabotage those relationships because you don't believe you're worthy of them. Hence why it's very important that you work on your self-concept and creating new neural pathways that lead you in the direction you want to go. When you focus on real love, including loving yourself appropriately, seeing yourself the way the divine sees you, and you see your worth for the same way, you're not just going to be feeling better. You're going to be living better. And by changing your brain, you're going to attract healthier relationships, both friendships, romantic partnerships. People have to show up the way that you feel about you, or they have to leave. That's, again, the law of attraction. But this will be able to help you in manifesting your deepest desires, because you have to embody what you want. You have to actually experience love, you have to be love. And how can you truly experience love wholeheartedly, unabashedly, when you don't even love yourself? That's why this work is so incredibly important. When old painful thoughts or triggers show up, whether it's from childhood, heartbreak, trauma, it doesn't matter. Remember, those feelings are divinely crafted by the universe to help you heal and grow. It is literally just a reminder to yourself on the parts of you that you need to work on. If you're anxious for some reason, come back. It doesn't matter if somebody slams the door and that you start feeling that, like, that ache in the pit of your stomach. Think back to that moment that it originated at. Did your parents slam doors? Did you get bad news at one point when you heard something slam before? You need to find the root, because if you can find the root, there's a solution. And then you could literally say to yourself every single time as that a door slams around you, I am safe, all is well, repeatedly. It's things like that that really train our brains to think differently, to create those neural pathways that lead us down the rabbit hole to our future, to the future selves we want to be, to the future selves we want to create. And here's one of the biggest truths. Regardless, you are whole, you are worthy, and you are enough as you are. That is non-negotiable. No parent, guardian, past partner, friend, it doesn't matter who it is, gets to define your worth. Your worth is inherent, unchangeable, and sacred. Now, this is a step I think is very important, because you need to keep notes on your journal as feelings come up, as triggers come up, things you need to say to work through them. But here is one of the most important things that helped me, especially in those moments when I was healing and I felt horribly unlovable, and it just seemed like everything was falling apart and nobody really cared outside of my child. But then I came to this realization. There's been examples in my life, even if I didn't feel it in the moment. People that some of them I wasn't even related to, that truly showed me what unconditional love was, that loved me without exception, without judgment, and without expectation. It was just them. So what I want for you is I want you to write down 2 or 3 examples of people that genuinely love you. I'm talking a family member who loved you unconditionally, a friend who never judged you, a pet who showed pure loyalty, or a relationship when you felt actually seen and heard. And as you write this down, I want you to write down how they loved you without judgment, things they did for you, and the ways they accepted your worth, no matter what. And whenever, that those thoughts, those unlovable thoughts where you feel you're not worth anything, where you feel crummy and not valuable and just all you see is your own imperfections. In those moments that you just really feel worthless, I want you to look at that list. I want you to read that list. And as you think of things, add to that list. Keep it close as undeniable proof that you are absolutely worthy and lovable. Because that will help rewire your brain to realize that you have worth. Because when we're in those moments where we're feeling unworthy and unlovable, we think back to the moments that people made us feel like we weren't. But to really challenge our brains to create those new neural pathways, you need to find evidence that is. And sometimes you have to train your brain to find that evidence. And as you do this, you will find even more evidence to prove that you're lovable. Maybe you're at a gas station and a person smiles at you, just out of the blue. Maybe somebody does something kind for you. So on top of the fact that it helps you feel more worthy, it's going to really add gratitude to your list of things. And gratitude is a law of attraction technique that creates miracles. So this is a twofold method that will help you. Now, I also encourage you to take pictures of these people that you have, even if they're old pictures, or even write their names down and keep them in your workspace, on your bathroom mirrors. Put a stick-it note on your wall, something that always reminds you of your worth, but also something you can see daily, several times a day. And when you read those names or your list that you have in your journal, I want you to visualize those moments where you felt incredibly loved. When you felt the way it felt for them to hug you, or in a pet's to just be with you, how they understood your emotions. This habit daily will rewire your brain, slowly replacing old painful beliefs with new empowering truths. And just keep in mind, healing takes time. It's not an overnight thing. But every step forward brings you closer to feeling that fearless, worthy person that you already inherently are. And as you create these new neural pathways, you align with the energy of love, worthiness, and the universe will vibrate that back to you. The vibration itself will attract healthy relationships, wealth, whatever you desire, because then you're embodying it. Manifestation only fully works in a way that you can retain it when you truly believe in your worth. And this work makes that all possible. If this video helped you, please hit like and share it with anyone you feel that could benefit from it. Anyone that you doesn't have a really good form of self-worth, because that's what I want to do. I want to help heal people the way I've needed healing in my lifetime, and there has been a lot of that. And I think it's a lifetime process to still kind of get your triggers, but don't beat yourself up about it. And if you really enjoy my content and want to see more of it, because I will be posting daily for the foreseeable future, please subscribe to Fearlessly Empowered, because I will be putting a bunch of videos on healing, empowerment, and manifestation tools. I want to help you become your best selves. But more importantly, remember, you are worthy of love no matter what, just exactly how you are. Keep journaling, keep believing, keep healing. Your best story is being written.